Hi everybody, welcome inside the CrossFit Games Update Show studios. Sean Woodland and Pat Sherwood taking a look at the Southeast region after day one. Some things going as expected down there in Jacksonville, some things not so much. And speaking of that, on the men's side, Daniel Petro, a guy who was one of the favorites coming into this day, the first day of competition, 17th after 3 events.
Not where Petro wanted to be. I'll tell you what, if Petro does wind up taking one of the 3 qualifying spots out of this region, it's a story that we will be telling about for years to come because he has a battle. 17th, okay, not the end of the world. People have come back from that before, but he's got 59 points. And when you look at 3rd place that has 21, only after 1 day, that's a big mountain to overcome. And day 2 doesn't play well for him. We have strict handstand push-ups, which he said on social media is really not that stoked about, and then a legless rope climb. So I think day 2 is either going to keep him where he is or he may even slide a little bit further.
The 3 men that Daniel Petro is chasing all had stellar days in Jacksonville, and Noah Olson is your leader, but just 2 points separating 1st from 3rd. Olson, a guy who's been on your radar, but I don't know if we expected this from him after 1 day.
Now, we said, hey, keep a look at him, but he's sitting in 1st place. I did not see that coming. I caught up with him on the phone, and I asked him point blank, I'm like, look, are you in 1st place just out of some fluke, or should I get used to seeing you in the top 3? And he's like, man, I hope you get used to seeing me in the top 3. But he told me he basically scripted out what happened on day 1. He said on event number 1, I want somewhere in the top 16. He tied for 15th. Right. On events 2 and 3, he said he wanted a top 3 finish. He had a 2nd place and a 2nd place. So he literally wrote this out. And looking forward to day 2, he doesn't mind the strict handstand push-ups. He's not stoked in the front squat weight, but I don't think it'll slow him down that much. And I asked him, hey, Noah, what do you think about legless rope climbs? Are those going to be a pain in the butt? He's like, I'm okay with them. So wow. I think we're still going to see him in the top 3 at the end of day 2.
Sets up pretty well for him. And Jennifer Heathcock was in Jacksonville, Florida, caught up with Noah Olson after his first day of competition.
Well, we have wrapped up the first day here in the Southeast region in the Dirty South. Now, we do have our leaderboard set up, and Noah Olson did finish pretty fast in that 3rd event, Nasty Girls version 2. He did lead the board now for the first day here in the region. So how do you feel leading the pack here today?
I feel good. It wasn't a perfect day overall, but it doesn't get any better than 1st place right now. So I just got to hang on to that through the next 2 days.
What do you do differently? What is your strategy for tomorrow?
I actually ended last year in the same position that I'm in now. I finished the 1st day in 1st place, and then just kind of slowly slipped away, and I'm just not going to let that happen this year. Tomorrow's workouts just got to move fast and don't stop.
If Noah Olson's going to stay atop the leaderboard, I mean, he still has some pretty formidable competition to deal with here on day 2 and 3.
Oh, absolutely. And the other 2 people just in the top 3 with him, you have Easy Muhammad. If you don't know who Elijah Muhammad is, let me just drop this little resume bullet. He was a training partner in the past of Rich Froning. They're both at Tennessee Tech, so how are that for credentials? And then you also have Guido Trinidad, a Games veteran, and Guido and Noah Olson trained together. So probably not a coincidence that they're both in the top 3. Whatever they're doing at Peak 360 CrossFit is working.
On the women's side, this did go as expected. We have a great battle going on right now between Talena Fortunato and Emily Bridgers.
Yeah, I'm absolutely, this might be one of my favorite races, period. And I don't know why, but I got wrapped up in the whole Talena Fortunato and Emily Bridgers deal. Both these ladies executed their plans perfectly. Talena very rarely just knocks one thing out of the park, but she's super, super consistent, and that's what day 1 was for her. A 2nd, a 2nd, and a 2nd. Bridgers, on the other hand, was like, hey, here's what I need to do. Got to survive event number 1. I know other ladies can snatch more than I can and make a statement on 2 and 3. She didn't just survive number 1. She tied for 7th. I think that is legit. And then what did she do on events 2 and 3? A 1st place and a 1st place.
Wow.
So the race in the Southeast for the ladies is shaping up to be a very exciting day 2 because I think we flip-flop it again. Talena, I don't know how she is at legless rope climbs, but I can see the spider monkey doing well at that. I don't think she'll like the strict handstand push-ups. Bridgers, I think, will love the strict handstand push-ups. So day 2 is going to be great.
Exciting day, day 1, the Southeast Regional in Jacksonville, Florida. For all your leaderboards and articles on the Southeast region, go to games.crossfit.com. For Pat Sherwood, I'm Sean Woodland, and that's a look at the Southeast region.